Hi, I'm Bernie, and welcome to a short video introduction on PvP. PvP is a quick two-player card and dice game where teams of combatants try to dish out the most damage and be the last man standing. PvP is currently available in a free print-to-play format, and it's available on BoardGameGeek. I'll put up the link shortly. My intention of putting up this video and publishing it on Indiegogo is to try to get funding to convert this game into an iOS or Android format. I'm just going to give you a short video introduction into the components of the game, which of course, when converted to an iOS format, will be entirely on your device. Okay, and then go into the gameplay of how the game works. Each player in PvP chooses up to 3 or 4 combatants to form his team. When playing the basic game, the player merely chooses a team and takes all characters of that team. If playing the advanced game, each player looks at the top left-hand corner of the card he is choosing. This gives him a point value of that card. Each player's team may include characters up to 11 points. This may cause your team to have up to 4 characters. Let's look at each card. Now let's look at each card in detail. Each card has a point value in the top left, which is used in the advanced game when picking characters to form a player's team. A card also has life points here in the top right. This is the amount of damage a card can take before it is destroyed. Each card also belongs to a faction, which is displayed at the bottom of the card. Now, if your team has 2 or more characters from the same faction, you can use its faction ability after every round, which is after you roll the dice. I'll explain the dice rolling later. And more importantly, each character has a set of abilities that you can use to trigger if you roll the correct dice combination. Now, let's take a look at the game in action. I'm going to show you a few rounds of how the basic gameplay works. Over here we have the Angelica Domina team, or faction, against the Wildwood Assembly faction. So let's assume that the Angelica Domina player goes first. He begins by rolling all 6 dice. After looking at the dice, he can choose any number of dice to keep and re-roll the dice that he did not keep. He can do this up to a maximum of 2 times for a total of 3 rolls in one combat. So, looking at his abilities, it is also note that each character can only use 1 ability per turn. He looks like he's going to try and use Vengeance's Celestial Beam. So he'll keep the 2s. And choose to reroll the other 3 dice. Looking at his dice again, now see that Galador, which has Rampage, so he may count up to 3 5s for 1 damage each. Looks like Galador has more chances of dealing damage than Vengeance this turn. So he chooses to assign there and possibly reroll this 4. Remember, you can reroll your dice up to 2 times for a total of 3 rolls in each combat. Okay, let's take a look at this roll. 3 5s. So you can use Rampage on Galador, may count up to 3 5s, and that's the limit. And it looks like he can't do anything else with this 3, 4, and 6. Just a quick note, there are 2 types of abilities on the cards, a black die ability and a white die ability. The white die ability, you have to match the numbers exactly. So you need to roll, for example, Divine Judgment, you need to roll 2 2s, 2 4s, and 2 6. Whereas for Katia, the black dice, you just have to roll what the instructions say. For example, here, minor heal, it says any 4 of a kind. They do not have to be 4 2s. Okay, so any 5 of a kind, they do not have to be 4 4s, okay, for a heal. Okay, so the player has decided he's going to use Gyarados' ability. He could have used any of the pluses there, okay, +1 to 1 die, +1 to any die, okay, but it wouldn't make a difference. Okay, it wouldn't really count. It wouldn't really help right here. Okay, so he's going to use Gyarados dice. 1, 2, 3. That's 3 damage to the Wildwood player. The Wildwood player takes 3 damage tokens and puts it on any one character he chooses. Okay, the defending player always chooses the damage or where the damage goes, unless, of course, the card says otherwise. Okay, so that's the end of the Angelica Domina player's turn. Now that the Angelica player's turn is over, it is the Wildwood player's turn. Okay. The Wildwood player takes 6 dice and rolls them. Looks at his board. Oh, looks like the Wildwood player is able to use 1 ability right now. But of course, abilities are only used at the end of the 3 rolls. Okay, so he chooses to keep his 1, 2, 3 here, okay, for a possibility of doing a tail swipe or possibly a rise of the acorn. Okay, and he rerolls these 3 dice. Oh, a 6. Oops, another 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 6. Okay, so he chooses to keep the 4 and the 6 and reroll the 3. Oh. Okay, looking at his abilities, he is able to use Squiggles' tail swipe. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, which leaves the other 2 dice unused. Okay, Squiggles' tail swipe says roll 1 dice and deal that amount of damage. So he's going to roll 1 dice. Goes, ooh, takes 6, Angelica. Okay, Angelica Dominica looks at his characters and he has to deal 6 damage. Okay, but you have to deal all damage to any one character. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and vengeance is gone. Okay. And they go back and forth in this manner until one player manages to wipe out all characters of the opposing team. That's gameplay for PvP. PvP currently comes with 4 different factions of 3 characters each for a total of 12 characters, which you can mix and match in the advanced game. I'm hoping to raise enough money to get an artist. The art here is courtesy of Peter Sackler, an internet artist, which has agreed for me to use his artwork for the free print and play version. But if I'm going to get funding for a full published game, I would need some professional artwork done, and it will also go towards developing costs to get a developer to develop the game, both for the iOS and the Android format. The game will come fully stocked with 12 characters with 4 factions, with additional factions and characters being released either as IAP or as free updates. Okay. Thank you very much for watching this short tutorial video on the gameplay of PvP. I'm very excited to get this game developed for the iOS and Android mobile platforms, and your contributions and donations would certainly go a long way towards helping me achieve that goal.